In the early days of the Way, now known as Christianity, the followers of Yeshua, also known as Jesus the Christ, spread his message of peace and love throughout the lands. It was a movement rooted in spirituality and compassion, seeking to bring people together in harmony and unity. However, as time went on, political and military influences began to creep into the once peaceful movement. 300 years after the death and resurrection of Yeshua, the Roman Emperor Constantine came into power, and suddenly, the Way, or Christianity, found itself in a position of great influence and power. With Constantine's support, Christianity began to gain traction as the dominant religion of the Roman Empire. The peaceful teachings of Yeshua were overshadowed by the desire for control and authority. The once humble movement had now become a powerful force to be reckoned with. As Christianity continued to grow in influence, the balance of power shifted. The Pope, who was meant to be a spiritual leader and guide for the faithful, became more like a king, wielding power and influence over the masses. The teachings of Yeshua were twisted and distorted to serve the political and military ambitions of those in power. Inquisitions and crusades were launched in the name of Christianity, with armies marching across lands in the name of religion. The peaceful message of Yeshua was lost in the bloodshed and violence that ensued. The once peaceful movement had become a tool for domination and control. Under the popes, the so-called vicar, Christianity became known for its forced conversions and brutal tactics. Those who refused to submit to the authority of the church were persecuted and ostracized. The balance of power had shifted, and the pure teachings of Yeshua Jesus were lost in the quest for control and dominance. In the midst of this chaos, there were still those who held true to the original teachings of Yeshua. They continued to spread his message of love and compassion, despite the corruption and violence that surrounded them. They were the true followers of Yeshua, holding on to the foundation of peace and unity that he had preached. As the centuries passed, the once peaceful movement of the Way, or Christianity, became a complex mix of power struggles and political intrigue. The balance of power had shifted so drastically that the true essence of Yeshua's teachings had been all but forgotten. But through it all, there were still those who remained faithful to the original message of Yeshua. They continued to spread his message of love and compassion despite the challenges and obstacles that stood in their way. The true followers of Jesus Yeshua were a beacon of hope in a world that had lost its way. In the end, the legacy of Yeshua and his peaceful movement lived on in those who held true to his teachings. They were the guardians of the foundation, the keepers of the true essence of the Way. And though the balance of power may have shifted over the centuries, they remained steadfast in their commitment to spreading the message of love and compassion to all who would hear. Peace, love, and grace in Jesus, the Christ name. We are the resistance.